Oh my God. Oh my God. SOS in progress.
Really? You're joking. Take the batteries out. You're joking.
How do we get this thing off? How do we get this thing off?
Are you serious?
Dude! There's going to be a helicopter here any minute.
Oh my God.
Get it off! Today is not a good day.
Hello and welcome. Ho ho ho.
Ho 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 dub.
Merry Christmas.
I've used that gag for years now. I probably
it's
need
good,
to stop.
it's solid. Yeah.
It does work. It does work. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas indeed. We don't have drunk Santa on, but we do have you and I not drunk. We were going to be drunk for this one, weren't we?
Well.
Are you going to be drunk?
No, I'm not. I'm not, but I was lining up I'll do it anyway. I was lining up some drinks, but I'm going to do it anyway because I thought it might be kind of cool. So, mate, obviously we started this thing, right, with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know where this direction might be going.
Yeah.
So we started this thing with Dr. Pepper, which, you know, no free shout outs. Dr. Pepper have been getting some serious love from the companionship though for the last few months especially. And mate, I got tagged in this thing so many times on Instagram of apparently you mix a Corona and Disaronno together and you get Dr. Pepper.
Is that I'm right, okay, so we're going to do a live tasting. Are we doing that straight off the bat?
We're going in.
Mate, it's 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. on a Friday when we're recording this, by the way.
So this was meant to be Thursday evening, so I lined it. I was like, okay, that'll be cool. I'll do
mate, yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, but I'll send one of these back for the good of the show.
Right, let's see. Let's do a live tasting.
We'll move on. We'll introduce the Warner part, and then, you know, obviously people here for Warner, they don't want to see someone drinking Corona and Disaronno. But anyway, let's do a live taste test. Let's see if it actually works.
Okay,
I can have a Corona while we record, and then
Dr. Pepper famously use 23 ingredients, don't they? 23 different flavours. So you're just adding, essentially, you're breaking it down into two, Disaronno and Corona.
Yeah. I guess in theory. I mean, I'm just checking. I'm sure there's loads of ingredients in Disaronno and whatever, but I don't think it actually says on alcohol what the ingredients are.
No, they don't, do they? That's a good point. No,
exactly.
Doubt. So what we're doing here is 1 + 1 = 23.
1 + 1 = 23.
Misunderstood. So misunderstood.
That's clever. All right, so I was thinking I'll just crack these now, put a little bit in, and we'll just see if it tastes like Dr. Pepper, and then we can just move on.
I like it.
I'll get it out of the way.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Okay, so let me put these on something. I'll put these on something so we can see it.
Whilst you're doing it, I want to talk about what sort of mix you're looking at.
You can't put alcohol on a Bible, can you?
No, you definitely can't. No.
Can't do that.
What sort of percentages are we going to be talking? Do you reckon?
I honestly, from the videos I've seen online, let me just move that down a little bit. Peep the merch. Percentage I've seen online, it's been literally glug a little bit out of the Corona. Sounds right, it's off-putting. Glug a little bit out of the Corona.
Yeah.
Pour a bit of Disaronno in.
Okay, that's it. So it's like a double. Maybe it's like a double shot.
Yeah, like a double shot. Yeah. All right.
I actually look forward to seeing you decant these. You know, it's quite a difficult thing.
It's quite a difficult thing.
The Disaronno is a larger gauge bottle as well, by the looks of things. So it's going to be tough. Oh no, it looks all right.
I love a Disaronno, mate. This is not great listening for people, I'm sure, but maybe head over and check out the YouTube.
Do you want me to do an audio description?
Instead of using the Bible, I've gone for the 7 habits of highly effective people, which is no doubt not drinking Corona on a Friday morning at 10 a.m. So first up, let me get rid of some Corona out of this.
Okay, so Davey is currently glugging, like a legend, by the way, may I add.
Like a legend,
He's taken it down to the label.
Okay.
So he's drunk it down to the label, the Corona label, and he's now going to decant the Disaronno in.
Actual brand as well, by the way. I obviously
went out and got it.
Quite funny actually. Yeah, I went to Aldi and was going to get the cheap version and was like, no, I can't really come in with the cheap version, can you?
No, because what's it called? Like Dengarono or something.
Yeah, it might be. All right. So we'll add a little bit of Disaronno. This is awful for you. I'm really sorry. A little bit. Oh, he's done it. Is
it safe to say that this is probably the Dr. Pepper flavour aspect, and the Corona adds the bubbles? You know, I don't want to oversimplify it, but I reckon there's some truth in that.
you reckon? Mate,
I reckon
smells.
so.
I love Disaronno. I actually really like it. So I reckon now it needs a little bit of a...
I don't feel like the shaking the beer's going to do very well. But yeah, that's really... I mean,
oh, shit.
Quickly, put it in your mouth. Right, okay, so now... Okay, we got the money shot early. Davey's now putting the money shot in his mouth. That's just foam, isn't it? No? I mean, there's no way that's not fizzing over the top. No, it's all right.
It does taste like Dr. Pepper. It's not bang on.
Like sinister Dr. Pepper.
It's not. It's like a roller cola version of Dr. Pepper, I'd say. Maybe I got the mixture wrong. Maybe it's a little bit more Disaronno. I don't know, but
I see how this is going. You can always add a bit more Disaronno now. You could add a bit more now, yeah, couldn't you? Just see if you can get the right mix.
God, as if people are going to still be listening. Let's move on from this.
This is like I'm grooming you. You know, in Creeps. You know, when Creeps buy girls loads of drinks. Yeah, they buy girls loads of drinks, and they just sit there and.
Wait.
Horrible.
That's the creepiest thing ever.
Do you know creepy? Can we just... Creepy is something I really... I don't mind being weird. I don't mind people thinking I'm weird. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind people thinking I'm an idiot. I don't even mind people thinking I'm a twat. Right?
Yeah.
But creepy would really hurt me. If someone said, oh, yeah, he's a creepy guy.
I feel like really that word as well perfectly summarises. It's like one of those words that just like...
Does.
Even saying the word makes you feel the thing.
Yeah, you know what it means. There's no fat on it. There's no fat on it. It's like... We're talking about it.
On that.
Even slimy. You could be a slimy car salesman, but at least that doesn't... You know, that's not as bad as creepy. Slimy's better than creepy, I reckon.
I agree totally. Ugh. It's... If the taste... profile, you know, Dr. Pepper's the 10. This is a 6, I'd say.
Okay.
It's there. You sort of know what it's on about, but it's not 100% Dr. Pepper. It's similar.
I tell you what, basically. I reckon the people that have said it tastes like Dr. Pepper are already drunk. You know what I mean? They're already drunk. They're already amongst it, and then you could feed them anything and they'd be like, yeah, it tastes
it's
like
one
Dr.
of those,
Pepper.
isn't it, at the bar, you're like, oh, if you get a shot of that and you put it in there, yeah, it's one of them, innit? But yeah, all right, well, I'm glad I did it. I really wanted to try that, and I wouldn't sip it on my own, I wouldn't just make it and sit and drink it, but it's, you know, it's a bit of fun maybe if you're out on a night out, maybe a shot of Disaronno, Corona. I like both drinks, but not necessarily together.
I don't like Disaronno.
Finish it.
I've had Disaronno come out as sick through my nose, so I don't.
It ruins it.
It does, doesn't it? As soon as you've had that one experience, you're like, I'm not up for it anymore.
No, I'm just going to use this hat and just mop up a little bit. We got.
I probably talked about it before, but I don't believe that any other form. I don't. This would be a good one, and I reckon this will be a polarising statement that I'm about to make, and it doesn't involve any obscure sports, so we're not going to offend anyone. But okay, so alcohol for me. I don't believe different drinks have different effects. I believe the effect is alcohol.
Do you?
And the different drinks are the different quantities.
Like, oh, gin makes me weepy, or
tequila makes me crazy. It's just it annoys me. It all just makes you drunk. And then when you're drunk,
do you think it's more of like, the more like the certain person that would drink that drink is that thing? It's like Stella makes blokes beat women up. But is it just that it's that sort of person that buys Stella, and then they just beat the women up?
It's like a branding thing. Well, it's the power of the mind, isn't it? If you
middle class drink gin, and then middle class people say that they cry, sort of thing.
As soon as you're told it, as soon as you're told it, you know what you're doing, don't you? You don't. I don't think people are like crying and then being like, "Oh, it's because of the gin." They're drinking the gin, and then they're aware that they've drunk the gin, and then they're aware that they're drunk, and then they're like, "Oh, what does gin do? Gin makes me cry." And then tequila,
and maybe the fact that you've like got that drink because you're in a certain mind state.
Yeah.
Tequila, for example, like maybe you feel a little bit low. Oh, I'll have some tequila. Oh, tequila makes me cry.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It just takes back that layer that's making you not cry. So
it's all the same. It can be great. It can be bad. It's a social lubricant. I'm not as into it as I used to be when I was younger, but I don't believe each different one has a different effect. It's just it makes you drunk.
I'd like not had a beer for a long time. I reckon this is my first drink. Probably 4 months, 5 months, I reckon.
I'm going to a Christmas party tonight. I might have a drink. I haven't either for a really long time, but I'm going to have a drink tonight.
What sort of Christmas party is it?
It's the MB Cyclery Christmas party.
Nice. Is it biking as well first and then out, or is it just out?
No biking in this, man. It is. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it is. I don't mind, even compared to. I just feel like I'm moaning about weather. It's boring, isn't it, when people moan about weather? But like, there's that sort of like mid-level that really gets me. Proper, just constant rain, puddles everywhere, dark.
Yeah,
it's
foggy. It was foggy here this morning.
Was it?
I walked the doggy, you could like barely see up the field. Like,
yeah.
It's just foggy and miserable and just grim.
Is that one where you look out the window?
It's super cold. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's alright when it's super cold and frozen. It's
hyped for something, aren't you? At least, but when you look out the window and you're just like, ugh. That's what it's like. But this is a positive Christmas. This is a positive Christmas episode. Everyone, when this comes out, everyone's just gone through Christmas.
Yep.
Happy Christmas. I hope everyone got all the presents that they wanted and deserved.
Definitely, dude. 100%. I actually also got a selection box I was going to eat, but I've already eaten it.
Have you really? Yeah. You ate the whole thing.
There's a few bad ones left in here. Just the buttons, basically. I've eaten it. It's just wrappers in there.
Just got the wrappers. There you go. That's Christmas for you, summarised.
That's Christmas, isn't it? A few beers and a selection box before 10 a.m. That is Christmas.
That's Christmas. And a little bit of Disaronno. The new edition. Christmas flavour. 2022. Christmas flavours.
Oh dear. So funny. Oh well. Wow. So I guess we're at the end of, just after Christmas when this comes out. We're also going to be heading into the new year.
Yeah.
If we could just do a little reflection, what are your highlights of 2022? Do you do that? Do you make notes? Do you think about it? Like, what would you say has been the best part of 2022 for you?
I'm honestly bad for this because I'm bad at dates.
Okay. I think forget when things were, sort of thing.
Yes, I can't remember. I can't really summarise a year very, very easily. I would actually, and it's actually a good thing about having an Instagram is like you can go through it and remember what you've actually done because you tend to.
Fucking gross.
Well, in biking anyway, mine's just biking, but like, yeah, there's been lots of fun things. I mean, we've had brilliant moments on the podcast, haven't we? You put me on the spot here. I can't remember exactly when literally anything, but
I think we had one of our biggest episodes, Pilgrim.
Was it?
Definitely,
yeah, Wicked.
It was around like June, July
yeah.
time, maybe.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a highlight for me. For sure, Freedom Ride. If I was to look back at what the actual year looked like, Freedom Ride was definitely a highlight. I love that thing every year, and yes, we are going to do one in 2023, and yes, it's going to be better than 2022.
Yeah.
What else? Man, the Christmas ride was up there. I'm trying to think of something though that's not biking.
Yeah, I hear you. Tiny was
TV
amazing.
Again, that's kind of cool. Tiny was amazing guest.
Yeah, TV time. David got more TV time. Dude, we've done a lot of episodes. I'm just like, it's too much even to go through the list and summarise. Like it's it's really difficult actually.
Our top 3 episodes were.
Oh, that's
I just did this.
Yeah,
I just did this on LinkedIn. I did our top 5 on LinkedIn. So I did. Our top one was Pilgrim. Then it was BK.
Yeah.
And then we've got like a random episode in there. I think it was episode 40 where I don't even know why it hit so hard, but it hit really hard. I think it might have been the thumbnail was pretty good. It had a picture of Brendan's old Honda on the thumbnail on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm talking YouTube, by the way, as well, not the audio version.
Yep.
And then it was Jono Jones. That was another banger.
Yep, Jono. We had Blake.
Remember we had loads of issues. We had Blake Sampson on the podcast as well. That was a really, really solid episode. I'm surprised that one probably didn't do a little bit better, to be honest.
The Deaconator.
Was it the foot thing this year? I don't know if it was.
That's what I struggle with. It all merged. I think that was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
I mean, we had Sam on. We had Jace from Gypsy Tales on. It has been a great year. It has been a great year. Another one for the books.
Another one for the books, dude. In the first full year, really, at the Ride Companion, because we started it middle of last year. So, so it's our first full year.
There we go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday again. Happy 77th birthday.
Just keep coming with the birthdays. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't even think about the episodes anymore. I feel like we should forget about what number it is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It just is an episode, isn't it? It just is what it is. But yeah, dude, it's been a hell of a year when you really sit back and reflect on it.
It's a good thing.
If anyone wants to do a little exercise, you can do that. There's a holistic health quote. I can't speak. That Corona's gone straight to my head.
Yeah,
He's pissed. Holistic health coach hate the word holistic, but Paul Check, a lot of people probably know about Paul Check. He just put up a YouTube video of how you can go through and do like a reflection on 2022. It was pretty good. It's not had many views when I saw it, but I'm in that little bubble of checking in on, you know, some of the shit that he posts and videos he makes. So might be a good one. I know it's something that I do. I'm a bit of a reflector. I like to take a few days, go out for walks, take my notebook, write things down, write ideas down. But mainly like not look back, but look forward, if that makes sense. So what are your... like 2023, like what's that look like for you? The year of 23, you've been waiting for this your whole life.
Exactly, it's going to be a banger, that's for sure. This is the
People
one.
People are putting pressure on you. They want to see you driving sports cars and stuff.
Yeah,
or whatever
I'm not sure
success
that'll
looks
happen,
like to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually, but I say I'm immune to that kind of like new year, new me thing. But there's just there is something about like it turning into a new year. It's not about it being a number. It's about it being a start, I guess.
I agree.
So it's like you start as you mean to go on. So maybe I'm reverse engineering.
Like a racetrack.
Yeah.
It's like you've done a lap and then you stop and you're going to take a little breather and then you're going to do another lap. And it's like, how do I get better optimized and how do I make that lap a little bit more fun or a little bit better?
Absolutely.
That's kind of how I look at it.
I want 23. I want to be
23
amongst it. 23. You know, really like, amongst it. I like.
That's
I like,
cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to zoom out, like we were doing on the Neathlin episode, and you look down at Mr. Ollie Wilkins, and you know, okay, I'm gonna probably speak a little bit out of turn here, but I'm gonna throw some ideas out at you. So you zoom out and you look at Ollie Wilkins and like this 23 thing when he was a kid, number 23, you've always been like super into it.
I like this. I'm making like a montage.
Yeah, you're making a montage. He's 20. He found number 23. He found Michael Jordan. He was coming up. He was this and that, and he's done all these projects and he's got these sponsors and he's worked on building sites and all the time he's thinking, when I get to that number 23 year, that's the year that things are gonna really hit. And dude, you got the house just before. You're gonna be moving into the house officially, I guess. 23. So that's a massive thing. There's so much going on with the podcast behind the scenes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're riding bikes for a bike brand that you love. You got Siggy products coming out. There's a lot going on for in 2023 for Ollie Wilkins. I feel like it's actually all played out quite nice, and I don't want to jinx it. 'Cause it could be shit, dude. Like
it could be all so shit. Yeah, we should all touch wood. Touch wood.
But things are lining up pretty good behind the scenes. I feel like for 23.
I think so. Anyway, I think it's like for everyone. I think everyone's going to have a good... I think 23 is going to be a great year. I think we're coming out of all this weirdness. We're going into a recession.
Yeah, we're going into a recession. The bike industry is practically on its knees.
No, but I actually think it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be the thing that we probably talked about at the start of lockdown. That's what I hope. And that's what I want for every single last one of the people that listen to this and watch it, and people that don't as well. Yeah,
I agree with you though. It's about just making a little having a few days just to like be with yourself and be with your thoughts and think about where you're going and what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It makes a lot of difference to me personally to take that time and write down some goals and think about it and be like, right, this is what I want. Like, these are the little plans that I've got. And me and my friend Darren from Saks, actually, we do it every year. We take a whole day out and chat and talk about our 2020, whatever it is, coming up goals, and we write them down and we stay accountable to it. And it's good. I was looking back at mine and I've like ticked a bunch of them off, which is really nice.
It's good. That's a good exercise. That is. We actually, it sounds really stupid, but those street races, every time we've done a street race, we sit in the airport and we write down plus and negative.
Brilliant.
And like naturally, the human goes to negative first. The human mind, for me anyway, goes to negative first. It's like it's easier. It's like the things that it's easier to see. I think the things that's actually I've not thought that before, but you know how news is all negative. It's because the human mind is like receptive to negativity. Very quickly.
We're more inquisitive around a negative highlight.
Yeah.
There's so much science behind like clickbait titles and also newspaper headlines and
all negative.
Fonts and all that sort of stuff that makes you go, what? I want to buy that. I want to know what that thing is.
You go to it straight away, but actually the thing that has the most effect is so I go through this, back to the street race, I go through the list of things that we did wrong or that we could do better on. But then that's whatever, that makes you feel a certain way. But then the positive bit is way more impactful actually. And being positive is, I sound like one of the sort of like self-care coaches or whatever, but being positive is that actually has more impact. In almost every situation. So you naturally sway towards negative, but then the positive thing, which you think of second place, has more of an impact, and it's a better exercise to know what you've done well, actually.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to sometimes take a second and look at like what did we actually achieve? Like, we should give ourselves a pat on the back. Yeah, there's some negatives, but all those can be turned into a positive further down the line anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did we actually do right? And it's the same with looking back at a year. It's like, don't look at the negative stuff. Like, look at like, what did I actually do right? Like, yeah, okay, and maybe if you didn't quite hit that goal, don't worry. At least you like tried, and next time you're probably going to hit it. And that's.
Do you know what this is? This is a perfect segue into a roller coaster of ups and downs. I went on earlier in the year, the GR5 with Rob Warner. We managed to get him over to my house as a guest in a makeshift building site studio, and we sat down and chatted the positives and negatives of a huge undertaking, the GR5, first of which is out now, second of which is out very soon if you're listening when you're listening to this. So, two-part series, that's right. We'll talk all about it in just a second.
On Rob Warner's channel.
On Rob Warner's channel. We cover it all in just a second after I just click my fingers and magically we've morphed back to my building site house. Ready? You do the click, actually, David. Can you do the click?
Sure.
Yeah, I want you to do it. You weren't there, so you know it feels like you were there in spirit, obviously. But yeah.
Can you click with both hands?
Yeah. Can you not?
Okay. No. Ready?
Right, we're on. Let's see if the magic happens now.
Well, you're in charge. It's your podcast.
Why don't
intro me?
Well, I feel like you're on a better chair though. It's a bit unfair.
Intro me.
All right. We have.
Go on, have your chair back. Go on, have your chair back. You haven't been the same.
I don't know.
Actually, have you?
You steal the. Don't get my.
Cross. What's that?
Don't get my. That's my notes. I need my notes. I need my notes, dude. Right, we're here today with Rob Warner, the current cover star of MBUK.
Thank you, Ollie. Perfect intro.
There we go, yeah.
I'm happy with that, man.
And we're not here to talk about World Cup. We're not. We've done all that. We're sick of it. We're talking about what just came out yesterday.
Yes.
The GR5.
Our adventure film through the Alps on the 550-mile off-road route, which is known as the GR5. Starts at Lake Geneva, the bit we did, starts at Lake Geneva, ends up pretty much on the south coast in Nice, in the sea. Yeah. And that is what we attempted to e-bike, to ride on our mountain bikes.
Can we edit out attempted and just do survive? We survived.
Yeah, we survived it. We're here.
So it's the most complete. It's the most complete alpine route through the Alps. It's north to south.
That's right.
Covering the entire length.
They call it like the maritime Alp part. I don't know why. Basically, it's the bit we all know. It's the Alps as we know it. The French Alps, isn't
it? And it is massive, eh? It covers. I don't know what Alp.
550 mile didn't sound that much to me.
No, it doesn't.
I was like 11 days, 50 mile a day. We'll kill that on e-bikes, you dope. No. And the one thing that absolutely blew my mind, which I should have probably known, although, you know, I've never e-biked up the Alps, I've only chairlifted up, was like the scale of them. Scale of where we were, the scale of the whole mountain range, the fact that in that mountain range there isn't much. Well, in the evenings we couldn't even get food. There was nothing. Like bloke was like, "There's a pizzeria 18 miles away." You're like, "What are you on about?"
Makes you realise how much you just normally rely on the fact that you've just got hills. We're mountain bikers, but I don't have much mountain experience.
No, you're right.
And also with the Alps, the only experience I have is top of the chairlift.
We're hill bikers.
We're hill bikers.
Yeah, that's what we are. We're British hill bikers.
Arguably knoll. You know, like KNO,
like a knoll,
a grassy knoll.
A knoll. Yeah.
We're actually living around here. We're actually like knoll bikers.
Yeah, I think we are sort of. That's right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And being in the mountains was a bit different, wasn't it?
A little bit. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if we were I wouldn't say I was unprepared. I would say I was a bit unprepared.
Yeah.
I would also say that I was massive. I am, massively inexperienced at mountaineering.
100%.
I am not a mountaineer.
But
I want to be one.
So part one,
and
that
this
has just come out,
part of that.
captures it perfectly, doesn't it? Like that came out on the 27th, so that's yesterday. That's available to watch right now on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that basically encapsulates exactly the moment where we realised that we weren't mountain bikers and we were hill bikers.
I think that's a very nice way of putting it. The fact, so the first film out of the 2 films is the first 4 days of the trip.
Yeah.
I won't lie, it didn't go well.
It didn't.
It didn't go well.
It didn't.
It's a disaster movie.
It's whiteout.
It's whiteout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have shot it all in a white room.
It's unfinished business. It's unfinished business because
we pumped a bit of smoke into a room. We'd have been good.
You could do that on a knoll. Yeah. Easy. You get a knoll, you get a smoke machine, done.
Yeah,
we could have done that. But I'd like to redo it. I think that some of the views that we missed out on were probably. This isn't a good way to sort of
sell the movie. If you want to watch 2 lads ride through the mist for 20 minutes, tune into my YouTube.
But panic not. On the 30th, part 2 comes out where we went south.
And also, it is what it is. At the time, I was absolutely devo about it because I'd organised it all. It was like my first sort of like project manager film. You know what I mean? And I felt under pressure to deliver. It'd been like sort of well over a year to get it organised, to get it going on. We were both busy, so we went as early as we could in a year in September, actually, late September, just after the World Cup had finished. And it should have really been like 15 degrees, end of summer, nice and sunny. But it's the Alps, and another thing, and actually the week after we left, it was back to 20 degrees. You got a suntan. Yeah. But when we were there. Oh my goodness,
dude! It annoys me because I feel like we missed out on some of the most amazing scenery. Like we were at 3,000 meters. We were looking over Mont Blanc. Those are like arguably the big mountain stages we did.
We missed all that veranda, that balcony.
Yeah.
We missed that I'd pre-ridden. We missed loads of it. We missed all of it really. Like as in we did what we could do, but that wasn't an awful lot mainly because the snow. The GR5 goes up, it's a high alpine trail and it goes up through coals all the time. Yeah. And basically those coals had too much snow on them. Yeah. You couldn't see where you were going. The e-bikes were wheel spinning up. You couldn't ride a bike there.
No.
It was foggy, it was really cold and it was actually dangerous.
I realised how naive I was. I realised how underprepared and naive I was because we were about to go over one of the first coals. And I think we had 300 metres more climbing. Yeah. And we already couldn't see the trail.
That's right, because of the snow.
GPS to see the trail.
On the Garmin just telling us where to go, which is probably not ideal in the mountains. No,
but at the time I wasn't cold, so I was thinking, come on, we'll just do these extra...
How were you not cold and I was froze?
Just smaller.
Yeah, that's right. Your blood hasn't got to go.
No, exactly.
That's right. I'm so big, man. There's no blood in my fingers and feet.
No, even now.
Not much.
Inside. Yeah. It's not the warmest of houses, I'll give you that.
No, it's quite, I don't want to say anything.
No, yeah. Was there actually? but at that moment, I've sort of realised that I was like, because I was up for it. I was up for carrying on, and we had 7K at the top. At 3,000 metres. Yeah. And thank goodness we had a guide because I think it probably would have gone.
Well, neither of us were going to make the call, I'm not doing it, and you weren't going to be the one either. So it took the man of the group to be like, right, you ain't doing it.
Yeah, which basically
you're going to die if you try and do that.
Yeah, someone with experience.
And actually, even Dan, who came out, the photographer, the next day, we told him about it, and he was like, yeah, you could have easily ended up in a lot of trouble up there. Yeah. And we did weigh up the fact that, we were at sort of 2,800 metres, we were at the top of the Alps, that no helicopter was coming in that fog to get us, and I was absolutely crushed at the time. But with Einstein, even that night we were like, that was the right thing to do. We would have been in trouble. And then the next day, of course, we got up and we were waiting for that break in the weather, and we didn't get it. And that was triple heart wrenching. The fact that we had to call it really. Yeah. Not because. Well, we had to call it because we couldn't ride it. It was pointless, and you couldn't see anything. We're making a film in the fog. I mean,
looking back though, I'm glad of all of it. At the time, I wasn't. I was thinking, oh. But looking back, I think it was a cool experience to have had, especially high.
I was well done, Rob. You've created a disaster movie. All the sponsors have paid money. This is going to be pumped.
Yeah. But it was good. In hindsight, it was good, and it was like the first time that's happened to me. I've never been tempted to call my mum at the top of the mountain.
No, were you really?
Bit tempted, yeah.
Yeah.
I was. You?
No, I was more worried about the outcome of the movie.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I'd have risked my life for it, but maybe we would have done, because we're just stupid, aren't we, in the mountains? We're not mountaineers. No. We're not even mountain bikers. We've just
hill bikers.
Yeah, we're hill bikers.
No.
So we didn't really have all the gear on, but
luckily it didn't end there, though.
No, it didn't end there, did it? Because we made the tough executive decision to head south. Yeah. 3 hours, I think we drove in the van.
Yeah.
But then we would, and we missed a fair bit of the GR5. But, we wouldn't have been able to ride through the Mercator National Park and stuff.
Interestingly, 3 hours driving doesn't get you far on the GR5, because the GR5 is off-road, so you're actually straight lining, whereas the roads are just...
Yeah, that's true enough, yeah.
So we did miss a chunk of it, but it's probably not as much as you'd think, actually.
No. And then... Good try. No, it's true. Well, I reckon we probably only missed about 60 mile of it or something.
Yeah,
it's 550 miles long. So,
yeah, it's true, yeah.
So we
piss in the ocean.
But,
Piss in the ocean or in a mountain.
A drop in the ocean. A drop, okay,
a drop in
the ocean.
Drop's better, yeah.
I like that as well.
So on the 30th, part 2 came out. We went south and things got a lot better.
They got sort of the mountain bike film we were hoping to make. The adventure we were hoping to have. Well, no, that's not true. We definitely had an adventure in the first 3 or 4 days, a wild one. But all of a sudden, we were doing what I thought we'd be doing. Like we were riding bikes through spectacular scenery on e-bikes. It wasn't an overwhelming effort, of course. No. Well, the big thing really that to me was like, because I love e-biking, and like you said, been a professional mountain biker for a lot of my life, but only racing them, not mountain biking. And I was like, well, I'm never going to go mountain biking because I don't want to ride up mountains. You know what I mean? Like no, it's the end of. But with the engine, with the e-bike, with the motor, of course, then everything's accessible to within reason. Why not? Why not ride up those peaks?
And even more accessible with. I feel like we have to mention the fact that we had help from H and I. we had a battery mule, so this is a massive opportunity. Like you don't even really
fair
get
play to Andy.
Yeah, Andy was to people listening. Andy was pulling up batteries for not only you and I, but also for Dougie filming it, and also our guide Alex.
Yeah, well, the mountains were so big that we'd have rendezvous points, and we'd definitely load the bikes up, put new batteries in them.
Yeah.
But then, you might go into sometimes a 2.5 hour climb.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the top of there, your battery's pretty depleted.
Yeah.
So we were rock and roll, man. We had a bloke carry. That's bad to say that, but he did carry.
Pretty cool though, wasn't it?
4 batteries on his back. 4 e-bike batteries he was hauling up to the top of the first climb on some days.
Yeah.
And then we'd again put new batteries in the bikes, and off we go on the rest of the day.
But
we
continue climbing. It's crazy.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right.
So it's like, like I guess it's quite immeasurable how long an e-bike battery lasts. You get asked all the time, don't you? Well, it's so impossible.
There's so
to tell.
many variables on where you are, what the temperature is, whether they're going. I mean, there's a lot of things. The temperature's a big one on them. Of course, it was really cold, below freezing, -2, wasn't it, at the top?
Yeah.
In September, that was the whole. Yeah, if we'd gone any other week of the year, it would have been absolutely spot on. You know what I mean? But yeah, we bad luck, wasn't it? But
I guess the one good thing is that we still would have had to mule up batteries. The climbs were that big, and to get that elevation that quickly, you would have you wouldn't have been able to do it on my battery. So it was still, regardless of whether.
That's true enough. But for the film, we didn't get the scenery. We didn't get all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
But what we did get was like a pretty cool story of us failing.
I'm glad of it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's, like we say, it's 2 halves, and they're very contrasting. They couldn't be more contrasting. The first half is white out, misery, rain, wet through, frozen, trench foot, lack of food, perishing.
Hopefully they've already watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, if you might have seen that yesterday. Hope I haven't oversold it. Tell me if I have. But then
the second part,
which is coming out in 3 days' time,
the 30th. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was different, and that was a lot more fun.
Yeah, it was more fun.
And I
didn't have the arginess, didn't you? Didn't have that.
They're still long days.
They were big days, but it wasn't like I don't know. I quite got in. I didn't mind feeling like another. At the end of every day on the first 3 days, I must admit, I felt like I'd nearly had a near-death experience.
Yeah.
And that, you know what I mean? There's a little buzz to be had with that as well, to push yourself that hard in places. Because it was weird, because I was trying to make a film and I was gutted about that. But on the other hand, I was like, this is pretty sick, mate. Look where we are.
Actually, one of my favourite things was actually a descent after we turned around. So it was, in theory, a failure, but it was just so cold. And you're so plastered, and you get to the bottom, you feel like you've gone through something almost. Yeah, you've heard. Yeah, that's right. It feels raw, doesn't it? It feels like the only thing you're focused on is like, I like those moments because you're only focused on getting down. You know, and you have to. You're in trouble a little bit. You could be in trouble. You know, it's cool. It's raw. Yeah, it is. You know, it focuses you. It definitely focuses you. Oh, focus. Oh, nice. Hey. Huh? Hey. Yep. Yeah. And should we tell everyone why it's coming out on my... I want to tell everyone, hopefully if you watched it yesterday, you noticed that it is had a bit more money spent on it than my YouTube's. It's a proper Shimano film. It's a big announcement, dude. I feel like we should all right, in a little bit. So at the end of the year, next week, I'm parting ways with Vitas Bikes, who've been incredible for 3 years, who gave me my first e-bike. So I'll just get a thumbnail. What's that? A thumbnail. I was just getting a thumbnail. Someone doesn't wear deodorant. Anyway. What? Sorry. I'm not taking my sweater off. I've got a thumbnail, so it's good. Have you got? I just got it then. Oh, cool. Yeah. Did you? Do I need one? Just for the clip. Yeah, you do one as well. Yeah. There we go. If that doesn't make audio listeners want to tune in to the video, right. I don't know. No, well, that's right. Yeah. So anyway, and I think Shimano probably going to put it out next year, and then I told them, like, because of what I'm doing, I won't be with them next year. So they were like, right, what are we going to do with this film? Yeah. And basically, if it was going to go on their channel, my understanding is that then it needs to be literally put into subtitled in about 18 different languages or something, which they didn't. That's their standard. That's what they do. So they've given it me to put on my YouTube, so that's why it's on my YouTube. But it's pretty cool. But it's got a good production value. It's a proper 2-part film. It's cool. So the big announcement is what? That I'm moving bike, not teams anymore. So you're teasing it? Yeah. Well, I'd like to say who it is, but I probably can't until after January, I think. That makes this clip even better. I think they might want to do some sort of announcement. I'm not sure. I haven't really, but cool though. Very cool. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's really cool. Yeah, it is cool. There we go. I'm looking forward to it all. So what have we got to look forward to in part 2 in 2 days' time or whatever it is? Sunshine. There we go. Sunshine. Went south, sunshine. Yeah, it was too hot. Again, some amazing trails though. Because we're so high, they don't have the traffic. Honestly, there was not one braking bump. When you think about it, there wasn't one braking bump. And it's all single track. It's like people shuffling through the Alps on like a 18-inch wide path. Yeah. And it was proper single track, proper cool. I mean, one of the big standout moments to me late in part 2 was the day when we pushed up through those peaks, like hiker bike, walk mode, up we went. We were right on top of the very Alps, right in the peaks, the granite. Are they granite the Alps? Fort. That fort. No, this was the day after. But when we rode around all those exposed, when you dropped the GoPro, but that was wild riding, man. Wasn't flat out along cliffs, top of cliffs. And, massive. Yeah, not riding I've ever done before, actually. No, that was amazing. That exposed. Actually. And also because it was one of the first coals that we passed that we could actually see, it was absolutely unreal, wasn't it? Seeing the view of where you actually are. And seeing where you're going, and seeing when you that's right. Like you could see the saddle, and we're like, that's where we're headed. Yeah. And then we didn't have any of that in the first 3 days. In the first part of the week, we were just piss wet through, froze to the bone, and surviving it. And then all of a sudden, in part 2, we're mountain biking, and it was it justified, like we said, to skip a little bit of the GR5 to go south. We had no choice because we're not there actually to crack the GR5. We're there to make a film. And that wasn't really happening. Well, it was happening, but 10 days of us riding through fog was going to be a hard sell. It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough watch. Yeah, a little bit. It's going to be a tough. It's right. Yeah. So would you recommend someone, if someone listened to this, would you recommend doing the GR5? I know, right? Logistically, it's big. Yeah, because it would be a month long.
ride.
Well, if you did it, so here's the thing as well. We must say that we might be the first people to try it on e-bikes because logistically it's quite challenging.
Yeah.
But people have ridden it. I don't know how many people, but when I was researching it, found a video online of 4 or 5 lads that have actually ridden it on normal bikes. Fair play.
Camping, wouldn't it? That'd be.
Oh, it'd be a bike. What's it called? Bike packing.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do it that way, right?
No.
I don't think I've got 3,000 metres pushing a bike with panniers on a day in me.
Not for the length of time it would take.
Well, it's every day you'd get up and do it again, like you say, for probably about a month.
It would be, wouldn't it? It would be a month.
But the e-bikes really, in many ways, are absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Like, because the climbing isn't a problem.
No.
So that was another reason to make the film as well. It was like, you know, it was like just to show what a normal person can do on an e-bike. You know, like you say, like, no, I wouldn't probably try and tackle it all again, but I would damn sure go back and do some of those stages, some of those days that we missed early in the week. Definitely. On an e-bike, I'd go and do single days almost, we could go and do those probably with no help, with no van, with no batteries, we could do it.
Gets me way more hyped for those days rather than relying on chairlifts. And like you go all the way out to the Alps and you do the same runs, right?
Well, you're in it, aren't you?
Oh, mate, it's so good.
You're in the Alps. You actually are in the Alps. Some of the scenery we did see, and some of the nature, some of the, like, I don't know.
Eagles and stuff.
Yeah, the eagles were mad, mate. When we were right at the top and we saw those eagles, that was one of the most defining moments of the trip. I loved it. So, it's all there. It's probably a decent watch, really.
I'd say so. Perfect for the Christmas break.
27. Part 1 is full of snow, very Christmassy.
That's right, yeah, exactly, yeah. And then part 2 is out on the 30th on your channel.
Yeah.
So people go over there. We'll put the link in the description for that. And thanks.
Yeah.
For surviving the GR5.
Nice one, Oz. It was great fun.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we'll have another adventure sometime soon. Let's do something else.
Thanks for coming along. Back to the show.
Back to the show. See how I got the last word in there?
Yeah,
it's the presenter in me. I can't help it.
How good is that? Warner is the man.
Mate, that was the best. I really haven't seen it.
Well, big thanks to Warner for coming on, first of all, and sitting in the building site and talking through the GR5. Which was a wicked time.
Apologies I didn't make it down.
Mate, not at all. It was funny, man. It was like, it is proper building site, and I had 2 friends there like drilling massive holes in the wall, like the extractor fans. So we had to shoot the episode once the holes were in, or like in between big bits of work. It's funny anyway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I actually so thanks for Warner. Yeah, and thanks for Dougie for shooting it. We'll be seeing more and talking more about Dougie very soon.
We will indeed.
I have a question for you, Davey.
Please, let me hear it.
Can you tell me what this sound is? I think you're going to know. I do think you're going to know. All right, you ready?
Oh, mate, that sounds like my worst nightmare. That sounds like unoptimized days in the future.
It's exactly that. Do you know what that represents to me? Is I'm not nutritionally complete. No, I don't have 75 of those vitamins, nutrients, and probiotics in my system. Prebiotics every day. I don't have them.
No, you're not. That's probably what your insides sound like a little bit too. They're just rattling around. They're not complete. It's not a complete nutrition package.
Exactly. I've run out of Athletic Greens AG1.
All right. Well,
what do I do?
Thankfully, I just got a little delivery just landed right now. Do you want me to show you a little bit of what you could get if you take advantage of our offer? I'll just give you a little.
Please. Can we let's do unboxing.
So here it is. This is what's going to land at the door if you take advantage of the Ride Companion offer.
Okay,
so that's looking like this.
That's an AG1 box. He's opening it up to our audio listeners.
Oh, there you go, mate. You're going to get a bag of Athletic Greens.
That lasts you a month, right?
Solid month, mate, yeah. You're going to get the shaker bottle, which is lovely. Really nice quality.
Very useful, yeah.
Yep. You're also going to get in there, which we don't have in this box, a tin, the metal one that you showed, and the lovely little metal spoon. That's dope.
Lovely, yeah. What else are our listeners going to get if they use our code?
Yep, you're going to get a year's supply of vitamin D3. It's just in a tincture, super easy to take. And then we're also going to throw in 5 free travel packs. And these are amazing, dude. I've been using these quite a bit, especially been out and about a little bit more recently on the road. I take the travel packs with me. You know, mate, you're in and out of hotels, you're traveling, you're not getting good quality food, you're not getting good quality nutrition. You rip the top off this, you pour it in either in your shaker or in a glass of water or whatever. There it is. 75 vitamins, minerals, nutrients, pre and probiotics, just like that. It takes all of the guesswork out of supplementation.
It does, and there's no better way to start your day than with AG1. That's for sure. I've been taking it I've now run out. Yeah. Thankfully, I've got more on the way, but I've been taking it every single day since, and I really like it as part of my daily routine.
And I think as well, dude, we're coming into a new year. It's something we've been discussing in the podcast of like making some new goals. And I think one of those goals potentially should be making sure that you're hitting those nutrition goals, right? I think
absolutely.
Maybe you're going to start biking more. You're going to try the streak challenge that we forgot to launch. I don't know. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's just a good one to kickstart the new year off with, man. Especially after, you know, you come out of Christmas as well. You've been eating terrible food, probably eating too much chocolate, drinking Corona, Disaronno, trying to make Dr. Pepper out of two things which obviously don't taste like Dr. Pepper. Why not make sure that you've got Athletic Greens in the cupboard and you're going to hit all of those nutrition profiles that you should really be having, right?
Absolutely.
Health is wealth, right? Health is wealth.
What does that normally look like? Normally that looks like a load of different pills, supplements, little bottles, jangling around in the cupboard. You've got to remember to take each one or reorder each one. With AG1, you just do one drink in the morning, one scoop, and you're done for the day.
Done.
So if a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplementary routine, the Athletic Greens is going to give a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ride companion. That's athleticgreens.com/ride companion.
That's right.
For your one-way stop to optimization. I stumbled on my words then. I'm not optimized.
You're not. You can tell that thing's run out. I'll be honest, you can tell it's run out. Me, I'm firing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My brain's got all the things it needs to be going. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm going to go for a bike ride after this, and that's all because I've been taking nutritional Athletic Greens. It's as simple as that.
There you go. Athletic Greens, AG1. Big thanks.
Big up.
So I actually the other day, dude, so as you know, I'm trying to move into this. Well, I've moved in. We don't have a kitchen. We've moved in. We're doing dishes. The only working tap is upstairs in the bathroom. We're doing our dishes in the bath. We're the classic people moving in too early part of the story. I feel like me and George are in there, but we're not really in there. There's no internet and there's stuff everywhere. It's cool. I'm enjoying it, but also not enjoying it at the same time. Anyway, so kitchens and bathrooms are notoriously expensive to anyone who's ever done a renovation. That's where you get rid of a lot of money in those two spots, eh?
Yeah, it racks up quick as well.
It does, yeah.
When you look at the parts individually, you're like, oh, it's not too bad. A bath's 200 quid if you need it to be.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you've got a big bill.
It's a lot. So as always, I'm trying to minimise costs all the way along. I've been keeping my ears open for people ripping out old but good kitchens, and we came across one through one of George's family friends. Stoked. So we went over to this kitchen. Is massive, all custom units, really nice. So they're wooden drawers. You know, it's like a nice kitchen. If you're going to be a bit if you're going to be the recycler guy, it's a good one to recycle. Frugal is the right word. I was trying to not use a negative word, but you know what I mean.
Okay. So frugal's good. Frugal's positive, I think.
All right. So I've got all of these units, right? And there's a dishwasher. There's all of the units we need. There's a sink. It's brilliant. Save loads of money. There is what I thought was an oven. Now we're at the stage where we're doing the electrics, plugging it in. I'm not good at, it looks like an oven, it's an oven. I've not looked closer. It's a fucking giant microwave. So I've built this kitchen around this thing. It looks like an oven door. I don't know if it's called a I don't know what it is.
I've never heard of one.
No, and I got to this stage where we've like plugged it in, and I'm like really excited because currently we're cooking everything in a microwave.
Did you think it was like an electric oven then?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So you just plug it in. You just literally plug it in, and then the fan starts, and
exactly,
no gas,
like a fan oven. Yeah, and I was stupid to not look at it. But I was so gutted, dude. The moment I turned the dial and it said like beans, it has a screen for different food types, and it said like beans. Chicken. Oh, it's miserable, dude. So now I've got to cut this unit out and buy an oven, which is a big money thing, you know.
Yeah, an oven. Yeah, an oven can be quite expensive, but also there's always ways, man. There's always ways.
We'll find a way, and it's not the end of the world. But you know, when you're at a stage where I don't know, I'm at a stage where I've leveled out all these units, right? And
wow, you've done that as well, yeah.
Yeah, and we're nearly
you really
ready
get after
to
it, don't you? Like with all the other stuff you do, like you really get after it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. I look forward to showing you around. But yeah, so now I've got to take that unit out or modify unit. Do you know how? I'll stop talking about it a minute because I feel like this is boiler chat and people are just like, oh, shut up. But if you already have a unit and then you have to cut it down and make it work, it's way harder than just starting again and buying a unit. But then if I buy a unit, it won't match the other units. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Wow.
At this stage, what I've noticed about having a building project is that you just have this list. It feels like it's always growing despite you ticking off things. So it's one step forward, two steps back. So, nice, the oven's in. Oh, it's a giant microwave. I thought that the oven was in and ready to go.
Do you know if it's like, have these people just used that forever? Like they've just microwaved?
It was a big kitchen. They had an auger, they had an oven, they had all sorts of stuff, you know. I didn't realise this. So
the auger not up for grabs?
No, the auger was not up for grabs. So yeah, so now I've got, instead of having a job ticked off, I now have two jobs, buying an oven and making a unit work, which is actually really difficult, especially if you're not, I'm as first fix as they come. I'm not a second fix guy. I'm not attention to detail. I actually hate it. It annoys me. I feel like I've got two club hands and I can't do it. I'm just not accurate enough. I measure once, cut twice. I'm not the right guy for it.
Is your lovely partner similar to you? Like, what's her vibe on this? Is she just like, well, fucking cut it all out, let's buy an oven? Or is she just going along with the flow because you're like the...
I'm project managing this. That's for sure.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm project managing this, and that's for sure. But like, no, she the pressure all comes from me because she actually, I'm very lucky. George doesn't care. She'd happily... You know, she'd happily do stuff on a camping stove, which I'm in a unique position. I think a lot of people that have done this have probably been in opposite. Yeah. Like generally, is this a bad thing to say? But generally, I think that girls need stuff to be a bit more perfect, a bit more dialed before they're happy, because they're just a bit better like that. They're like, whereas the way I could live would be quite a different look. You know, it'd be quite camping-y. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's my oven story. I thought it was quite funny though. I never even knew these things existed. Like,
no, I never heard of that in my life, dude. A giant microwave looks like an oven. That's crazy. That's what rich people have though, man. We don't know about this shit.
No,
what else do they got that we don't know about? You know?
Yeah, I mean, what do you need to put in there that you can microwave everything seemingly from the dial? This dial is horrible. You go through the dial.
Maybe you just have a lifestyle change, man. You just have a lifestyle change.
Chicken.
I wouldn't want microwave chicken though.
That. No, I don't know what. Maybe it's part oven, part microwave, but it's now in hindsight looking at it, it's tiny. So it's like a combi microwave. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a massive microwave. I couldn't even make it work. I don't like those things at the best of times, and this is really overcomplicated and difficult. But
we don't have a microwave in our house. No. We've never had a microwave. I don't know why. I think it's like... I always used to think they were bad, like they were negative.
I think they are. I'm going to look
weird shit into your food, but apparently, I think it's just literally making atoms bounce off each other, right? Like water, basically. And it's that
it goes inside out, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's not as bad as what I had my tin hat on when we first bought our house. I'm not having a microwave in my house. I don't want... microwave energy going into my body.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's actually that bad for you. I think it's...
I don't think it is. I think on a molecular level, I think it breaks down food and makes it less nutritious. I don't know anything. I can just imagine putting a whole chicken in there, and if it's cooking it from the inside out, surely the arsehole would be like a chimney, be like an exhaust pipe. Boop, boop. Oh, the chicken's ready. I don't know. It's anything.
Whistling.
How annoying it is that thought comes to my head first. As soon as I turn the dial, I was like, who's microwaving chickens? And then just if it's going from the inside out, surely the guts just boil. And then you get like...
It's the whistling chicken arseholes.
There we go.
Chicken's done. There you go.
There we go. Right.
Wow.
Well, that's that story.
Let's do a quick merch drop, because people are no doubt going to be wondering after a good 40 odd 50 minutes of this podcast, like, what's this tea all about?
Yeah.
How does the guy on the left look so dapper?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's the new merch drop, man. We're doing a merch drop, and the merch drop is unique because this merch drop also acts as a raffle ticket, because we've been talking about it for a while.
It's the raffle tee.
It's the raffle tee.
Look at that.
And here it is. Oh, mate, I wonder if I can make it...
Look at that.
Oh, there he is. All right. So, basically, merch is going to drop on Thursday after this episode comes out. So that will be... Let me just check my calendar, man. Let's do this properly. When's the merch drop happening? When can we make this thing happen? So merch is going to drop on Thursday, the 29th of December.
There you go.
That's right, you're broke after Christmas, you've spent all your money on terrible gifts, and we're doing a merch drop. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bad business, dude.
We're doing a merch drop, but it kind of makes sense. But
it's a raffle tee.
It's a raffle tee, so we're doing a merch drop. This is going to happen in 2 drops. The first drop's already landed, that's going to be free to ship. So that is probably going to sell out pretty quick, folks. So you're going to have to be on it with a merch drop. Then we're going to do another drop, middle of January. That'll be drop 2. And then someone who buys one of these tees, it's a long sleeve, dude, it's pretty fire, man. I love the TRC, I love the logo that you put on this arm.
Yeah.
The TRC.
Hey, let's set this up for audio listeners as well. So Davey's currently wearing
describe it.
The raffle tee. Now what it looks like to me is a TLD helmet, full Ride Companion wrapped. So
yes,
he's got the tee, and then he has the helmet in front of him. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work it out. We're giving away a Ride Companion helmet. That's right.
That's right.
It's like
what helmet is it, dude? It's a D4?
I think it's a D4. Check inside for the size as well, because it is relevant.
Okay. It is kind of relevant, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a medium, this one.
Medium.
This is a medium
I think
helmet.
that's the most common size, yeah. A medium D4, fully Ride Companion wrapped. It looks trick, doesn't it? I'd love to run that thing. I might have to get one cuzzy done. That'd
I think we
rad,
can do it again. I reckon we can do a few of these, I reckon. But this is the first one. And basically, someone who buys a tee at the end of January, we will do a raffle and someone will win that helmet.
I love the idea of this, dude. I love the idea of this, because a normal raffle... It's like, what are you doing? Are you buying out of 10 tickets, or are you buying out of 10,000 tickets? It drastically changes how you feel. We're doing 2 drops. They're really limited. They're small numbers, so the probability is quite high. And
really high.
And if you lose, you don't really lose, because you still got a cool t-shirt.
Still got a dope t-shirt, and these things are amazing.
Yeah,
really nice. I'm a big fan of this.
Rad.
I think it's perfectly summarises biking. It's got like a nice helmet. It's got the podcast logo on there as well. It's got a TRC on the arm. Oh, mate, it's so nice.
I like this. I really like this idea as well, because I mean, if this raffle works and it's a success, who knows what could be on the next t-shirt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a good idea, but I think who knows? Who knows? We're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the raffle tee. So how do you get one? Simple as that. Make sure you're on the mailing list. Mailing list people are going to know probably a little bit in advance. So make sure you're on that mailing list. Yeah. Teas are going to drop 7 p.m. Thursday, the 29th of December.
Yeah.
Okay. 7 p.m. What is it? 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Thursday, the 29th of December. No code needed. No
limited
nothing.
Limited drop. If you get one, great. Drop 2 in January. Then we draw a winner of the helmet. And someone's going to win. What they do, there must be a lot of money, those things, right?
Yeah, we should have prepared for this. This prize is really good.
It's actually really, really good.
I think it's a carbon one as well.
I believe it is. I believe it is a carbon one as well.
So yeah, you're talking. It's an expensive helmet, you know. It's the top of the range Troy Lee. It's the one I use, and I love Troy Lee helmets because you know how much effort goes in by Troy to making it really, really safe.
Yeah,
I'm just searching for the price right now, but anyway, you know what it is. You guys probably know better than us anyway, so yeah.
It's a rad prize, super cool.
Yeah.
Big fan. So there you go.
The raffle
merch
tee.
drop. We've not done a merch drop for a minute, man. There's been a lot of people asking about merch drops, so there you go. Also, obviously, we've got coffee available. Stem caps are back in stock, and we've got TRC hats as well.
Always,
a lot of hats still.
Always and forever.
Yeah, it's
the season as well. It's the season.
Cold out there.
Get those hats.
Yeah. There's a few actually. We still got a few long sleeve original ones as well in small, I think.
Okay,
so maybe you can get yourself a bit of a double bubble
the small
on there
people
if you really want.
out there. Yeah,
to all the small people.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Hey, so we you advertised drunken listener questions. I'm going to say we're not. That was false advertising. We're not drunk.
We were going to have some drinks, and then we got carried away in the moment, probably talking about it, and realised that we both didn't want to get drunk,
and both don't drink.
And don't drink.
I think
apart
I'm just
from me on a Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Drinking Corona.
What do you think you are as a drunk? Do you think you're a good drunk, bad drunk?
Mate, I'm a hilarious drunk. I think I'm a good drunk. I think I'm a good drunk.
Okay, he's a hilarious drunk. Good.
I think what it used to be, though, it'd be I don't want to come across all delirious, but like it'd be I chase things drunk. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like,
okay, yeah, fair enough. He's a creepy drunk.
Creepy drunk, a little bit.
No.
More like horny drunk. I think I'm like horny drunk.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
like,
fair enough. Yeah, fair
especially
enough.
when I was younger, that's for sure. So yeah. Definitely don't even.
I think I'd categorise myself as an annoying drunk, probably.
I've seen you drunk, wrestling drunk.
Oh yeah, that was proper. That was proper boys' night, wasn't it? That was awful.
Yeah, that was the Centurion last time. I think we got proper
Freedom
drunk
Ride
together.
Yeah,
we had a few wiggly pops around the campfire last time at Freedom Ride as well, didn't we?
We did indeed. You
and Emma finished off a whole bottle of gin actually.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, campfire drunk. That was good as well.
Campfire drunk.
Yeah, sleeping outside drunk. That was good. Yeah,
sleeping outside drunk. Yeah.
There we go.
I think I get like just happy drunk. I think usually
nothing wrong with that. Dude.
It just doesn't take much anymore. You know, it's like one Corona and a little bit of Disaronno, and I'm a bit like,
he's on the rocks. That was the advert. Disaronno on the rock. Disaronno on the rocks. Do you remember it?
Was it?
Yeah.
No. Well, you can drink it neat.
Yeah, I think that's large.
I've never had it. I've had it without cola before.
Yeah, that was the advert. Disaronno advert on the rocks. I swear the girl said it.
It's Italian. Did you know that?
I guessed it. To be honest, yeah. It doesn't sound English, does it?
No.
Disaronno.
No.
Disaronno. Yeah, it was. It was an advert.
I'll have a Stella and a Disaronno, mate.
Right, let's get some of these sober listener questions.
Yeah, let's do some listener questions.
Christmas sober.
Yeah. Have you got the thing open, or do you want me to see if it still works?
Yeah,
it still works. If you go on the story, it still works. I thought we'd have passed that time.
I did as well. I thought you'd screen grabbed it.
Yeah, it's all right. We can still use them. Okay.
Excellent. Oh, we got loads. Brilliant.
Yeah, we got a few.
Whoa, we got loads. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do a few. Start at the top. Work our way.
Let's do it. You got first.
Just choose first. Choose one you like.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a bike chat. Francis D.
Right.
UCI entry fees. There's an article on Pink Bike.
I am not up to date on this, so it's going to have to be you take it from here, dog.
Mate, I'm not really up there. I saw the article come out last night, or the press release, saying that basically entry fees to enter the World Cups have doubled.
Okay.
Basically, if you are elite team, they've gone up to €11,000.
Yep.
From, I believe it was 3. That's if you're entering the downhill, the enduro series together. I think that's. Don't quote me. Come on, let's not do that. But basically, I think that the bare essentials of this are that the entry fees have doubled and prize money staying the same.
Right.
There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of people asking questions, and I've heard on the grapevine that there's going to be a little bit of a kickback on this from the Riders Union.
Interesting.
I think they're gonna put the foot down a little bit on this because, and I don't know the ins and outs of the politics. I don't know where the money goes. I don't understand. But from the outside looking in, which is what we often do, entry fees doubling, prize money staying the same doesn't sit well with a lot of people.
No, I can see that. Just,
but I don't want to speculate. I just think that the riders need to say something here and be like, look, what's going on?
So I think an elite team, what categorises an elite team, and like these numbers obviously seem, I mean, it completely depends because you've got teams that can have an enduro team, a cross country team, and a downhill team, and in order to race at the highest level and have coverage broadcast throughout the world, you've got to expect, and pit space, you've got to expect that although you're
there's going to be a fee.
Paying to pay money, there's going to be a fee. Yeah, all these teams. I'd be really interested actually to see which teams, not like do teams make money? Like motorsport is never hidden that teams kind of don't make money. They're based on like external investment, and like a lot of teams don't turn a profit. I mean, that's not across the board by any means, but
no, I was going to say, when we went to Red Bull, it was quite obvious that they were making money, right? Is that fair? I don't know.
Well,
I remember having this conversation, but I'm not actually sure.
I don't know, because I think it's a marketing
there's a lot of money
expense
floating around.
Yeah, the whole thing is one
money.
Giant advert, isn't it? So it's like, I think a lot of the time it's quite I think it's very difficult to work out actually. And I think that'll probably be the same with mountain biking. I don't think necessarily each team turns a massive product. Everyone gets paid. It's all good. But I don't think that they're like, these teams are like growing every year and getting bigger and bigger and bigger necessarily.
I don't think the investors into it are asking, have we turned a profit? It's not really that, is it? It's more probably a tax write-off most of the time, to be honest, with a lot of those companies.
Yeah, marketing,
sponsorship is a tax write-off for most of them.
So it's not that people. It's not that they have to expect. If everything's going up, full stop. I think where people will be annoyed is that, or where the disdain comes from, is the fact that, like you say, the prize money hasn't, and maybe that's what they're going to be talking about. But I can't really comment.
I think everyone from the outside as well looks into this and just thinks that athletes should be paid more. It seems to boil down to that. Yeah. Whether the athletes think that as well, no doubt they probably do, but it just seems a little bit unfair. Again, just looking at this objectively, that things double, and it's in some cases not even double, it's like triple for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I have real difficulty knowing.
The prize money wouldn't.
Do you know what I think? Rather than I always feel conscious of this. Like if I'm complaining, you have to try and find, or that's an exercise I use anyway. You have to try and find an example of how you would want it to work, or how a sport does work better. And that I don't know about. I haven't found. There's not like an obvious one. It's not like, oh look, the NBA's dialed, or it's not like I don't know. So it's an interesting conversation, isn't it? I'd love to have someone on who's smart enough to dissect different sports and work out where the money is and how it's the most I think ethical.
The way I always look at it, and this is like probably really stupid. Sorry to interrupt you. No. It's probably a really silly way of looking at it. But you've got all these bike brands, some really like major bike brands that around the world. Your Treks and your GTs and things like that are sold in every country, and they're seemingly everywhere. From a commuter to a serious roadie, mountain biker, an e-biker, whatever. Now, if you look at all of the sports, NBA is a good one. UFC, anything that there's a lot of money seemingly floating around. Most of the people going to those events, and most of the people that compete in those events, have probably got a bike. And that's kind of where I get a little bit confused. It's not like we're this underground sport or this underground thing that no one's ever heard of. Not many people compete in cage fighting, but a lot of people, whether they do it as a hobby, they only ride once every 6 years, have got a bike in the shed. And it seems like there is a lot of money in this sport and in this industry, but it doesn't translate through to the people that are at the top of the sport.
I'm with you.
That's a terrible way of looking at it.
No,
probably,
I think you're exactly right. But I think every sport, if you take it as a case study, so let's go to the extreme. Soccer, right? Yep. Soccer generally is not necessarily a participation sport, and I think that's fair to say. I think people consume and love football, but they don't necessarily play it. I think a lot of people
would play like a sort of, I don't really know how to put it, a sort of, not a dumbed down version. Okay, those people who go to spectate aren't playing in stadiums in front of thousands of people, but they are going and playing five-a-side with the mates. They are doing it.
They might do, but I think the percent, all I'm talking about, is the percentage of, so I think you're right about mountain biking. I think that everyone watches, participates, so everyone, like you say, has a bike. I don't necessarily think everyone who watches plays football. I don't. I think that they enjoy consuming it as a sport. It's an easy sport to understand. There's only 3 goals, so there's not much to...
True.
You know, from...
I guess as well with that, if they enjoy watching it, they have a season ticket to the team, they pay for the Sky Sports or whatever, and that obviously filters money into the sport. I agree.
If you think about it, it's obvious, because when you look at the key sponsors, they're like complete out of... Like Carling, for instance, has nothing to do with football. It has absolutely nothing to do with football, whereas...
No.
So you're picking from a bigger... You know, the money is being taken from a much bigger business, and I think that
you could say that with Mercedes-Benz though. Mercedes are a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. I just mean on a percentage scale. I feel like we're much more focused in We're much more focused in bikes,
best bikes,
than a mainstream sport. I think mainstream sports don't require participation, and that's where there's loads of money. It's not a surprise. And then that money, equally, as soon as money gets past a certain point, the worst paid person in the Premier League of football is able to live life comfortably.
Yeah.
So that you don't get the complaints.
But the worst placed person in downhill literally is spending a ton of cash to get there to even... And I think that's the thing as well. You know, if you were, now, you have to obviously find your motivation from way different positions.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a money making thing. If you were, let's say you just seen all these press releases recently, and you're a downhill racer, and the last few years you've been going to World Cups, you've been getting top 60, you've just been scraping into a final. You've just been scraping in. Now it's gone to top 30. What's the motivation to go and even try anymore? Because you've got to make 30 positions up to even get into the main event. I don't know. It just feels like it just... And also you're paying more to even go. Or the team's paying more or whatever.
It's very difficult.
I just feel like it is difficult. And I'd love to have someone on who's really understands it, because I'm just looking at it probably totally wrong.
Yeah, well, I think it's good that... I think it's good us talking about it, because we're both morons in a way. Because I think what you're talking about there is like a feeder series. It's not... It's just what it is now. You can go from... It catches a bigger window of people through their bike riding career, and it's a minuscule sport compared to some of the ones we're comparing to. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
it's a minuscule sport.
But if you actually take on, I want to be in the NBA, or I want to play football in the Premier League, think how difficult that is. It's comparable. You still have, but you have all these feeder leagues, and you have like steps to get into it. So before you're in the main show, you're you're doing the same thing as people will be doing when they're outside the top 60. Who knows?
Yeah. Love to hear people's thoughts, please.
Good bike chat, though.
In the comments.
Good bike chat.
Yeah, good bike chat. They're really good.
Bike chat. Right. This is from TDem93. Last minute Larry gifts, which I think we can all relate to. I definitely can. I haven't even started yet, but
join the club.
Podium pick of the best worst gifts you can get from a petrol station or similar.
All right, podium picks from a petrol station or similar. Coming in at a solid number 3 for me is going to be de-icer, especially this time of year. If you rock up with a de-icer, it's a usable gift.
I like that.
You can enjoy de-icer.
I like that.
No problem. All right.
Okay. Shall I go number 2? Let's do it like that, yeah.
Please.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Toblerone. If you can go Toblerone yard long, they do a yard long one. If you can get that, I don't know if it's actually available very often, but I have given that before. It's big, and when you open it, you're not disappointed. In that moment, you don't feel like a complete letdown. Go with Toblerone.
Nice. Coming in at number 1, this is something that I've often done. I'm gonna be honest. You get a bottle of wine from the petrol station.
There you go.
Then you play it off as a good bottle of wine.
Yes.
Okay, by us, we've got a place, it's called Mitchell's Wine Merchants. It's a posh shop. You go in there, they got cigars, they got all the wines from exotic places. You get a shit bottle of wine from the petrol station, it's probably usually going to be under £5. You take it round to whoever you're going to, and you say, fucking hell, you don't even have to say it. You don't have to present the wine and say, I got that from Mitchell's. But what you do is you present the idea later on in the day. You get the wine, you talk, you have a little bit, and you say, oh, I went to Mitchell's the other day, that's where that wine came from. You just throw it in there, passing comment.
Nice.
But then they think subliminally this came from an expensive shop.
Good.
They think it's going to be better than what it actually is.
I like this.
Really, it's $5.
Coming in at number 1 with a bit of Christmas fraud. I really like that. I really like
Christmas fraud. Christmas fraud.
Do you know what I always think you could do?
I actually did this recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. We did a dinner here for a few people, and I got a bottle of wine from Aldi. And some of the wines from Aldi, they're in the special crates. And what I didn't know is they still say sometimes on the back of them, you know, produced for Aldi.
Yeah, that's
so
tough.
I passed it off as an expensive bottle of wine and was like, oh yeah, I went to Mitchell's. This is literally my exact spiel. I went to Mitchell's earlier, actually. You know, I got a few nice beers, and I got a couple of bottles of wine. It's actually really nice wine. And then my friend was like looking at the back of it. And he said,
busted, dude.
Bottled for what? Aldi on the back. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm
fully busted.
Got the wrong one.
I think you need props. You need to go into Mitchell's. Hopefully it'd be raining, so you're all wet, and you need to go and you need to say, I don't know, something that you'd need a bag for, because then you could go in. You could be like, I don't know. You could be like, I've shit myself, for instance. If someone's drenched in water and they say they've shit themselves, and you need a bag to put your clothes in, it's disgusting. You're going to give them the bag, and they're going to get out there as quick.
And that's the posh bag.
To be honest, you could probably just get a bag without having to lie about shitting yourself. But I think
for a bag.
The bag is the prop that's needed, and then you don't even have to say it. Then it's just in a bag, and then you can put Aldi ones in there. No one will even question it.
I agree, totally. Just make sure they don't look at it too deep. You want to keep that wine close to you the whole night until it's done, and then boom, it's straight in the recycling. It's gone. No one will ever know.
Wine's an interesting one, isn't it? Because if you had a little one of those pricing machines, a sticker, and you just put 200 quid on it, and you put it on a slightly peeling off sticker down there, that would add to the experience, and I wouldn't necessarily feel bad, because I mean
it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
It's all about. I think even with the £5 bottle of wine, you've got to pour it into the glass. You've got to swill it, smell it, take it away, think about it a sec, smell it again, and then nod. Oh yeah, and then pour everyone else's. Yeah. And then you've got away with it. Then people are tasting it. They're like, "This is fucking horrible."
It tastes like vinegar.
It tastes like vinegar. It just tastes like gas. But you've set the tone, and that's what a lot of this shit is, dude. It's all about setting.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So there you go. Christmas fraud brought to you by the Ride Companion.
I like it. I'm a big fan.
Let's move on. What else we got? We've done that one. Yeah, we've done that. The elf one's silly. What else we got? Alcoholic beverages. Worst hangover ever. Worst hangover ever.
Equally the same.
My worst hangover I think I can ever relate to or think about. Was I picked up the hangover in Poland. I went on a night out with a former speedway rider called Dakota North. I wonder where Dakota is now. He's an Australian guy. We went on a night out in Poland, and we went to a whiskey bar, and we obviously over there it's super cheap, so you're just living like a king.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of whiskeys in us, and then we went straight to the airport and got on a plane, and that was the worst I've ever felt.
That's horrible.
I've never felt as bad as that. It felt like my head was going to explode, to the point where I was almost lifting my hand up to ask for help. I was like, my head's going to explode. There's something going on in here. Like, I'm dying. That's the worst I've ever felt in my life.
I feel like neat spirits, like clear, neat spirits, you tend to... It is so immeasurable, isn't it? But it's like, for me, it's like the additional thing. So like beer, for instance, you have to drink you drink quite a large quantity of it. You tend to drink pints and pints. You'd never drink that much water. So then you feel like all bloated and gross, and that might add to it. But then equally, there's that kind of like whiskey breath, like you say, like it's neat that you can still smell it like the day after. It's gross, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the worst.
I couldn't put my finger on it. I think like it tends to be down to alcoholic quantity, the percentage and stuff, but there is like the sugary drinks. Do you remember the Red Bull vodka days? You just have that like sugar deficit.
Bomb, dude. In fact, even the thought of a Jaeger bomb makes my mouth go all funny, like I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, they're all bad, aren't they?
Disgusting.
They are all bad. Yeah.
Jaeger bombs are the worst. I hate Jaeger. Yeah. I absolutely despise that stuff. It's gross.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is absolutely gross. And the thing is that I think the worst thing is in the club that I used to frequent when I was a little bit younger, chasing tail, they used to come around with it and just be like, "Here you go, free Jaeger," and you'd just drink it because you're half drunk anyway, or really drunk. And then in the morning, you'd be like, oh my God, I feel awful. I can just taste Jaeger on my breath. It's disgusting.
That's tough. I don't know if we've covered it. Hopefully we've covered it.
I think we have.
We've covered
Move
it.
on.
Right, I've got one from Henry Wilkins, and he says, when will I get a fridge? This is a tough one. I need to get round to it. I
can't even see that one.
I have taken the fridge, and I need to replace it. So he's currently living without a fridge. Here, exactly where I am right now, recording this podcast. So.
At least it's cold outside. Dangle that milk on a piece of string out the window.
Sorry, dude. I feel really bad. Such an annoying older brother, like storming in, recording his podcast. There's nothing lamer. He's taken the fridge and he's in the other room recording a podcast. Oh, leave me alone.
You've not got a fridge, but you have got a giant microwave.
Yeah, you can have that. I'll drop that round. Yeah, I'll just drop that round as a fridge. Good idea. Okay, we've got Charles Willoughby. I feel like he's in a time of need. Christmas is all about giving. Warning, bike chat. What tyre pressures? I still can't decide what I like. Hey, can I go first, Davey?
Please, this is all you, mate.
Charles, don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. The moment you stop worrying about it, the moment you'll just remove that worry from your head. Put 30 psi out back, 27 in the front. Job's a good one. You know, you can go with a little lower pressure in the front. Don't worry about what you see on Instagram. Everyone's running 10 psi. Whenever anyone's shrouping like that, it's not real. I've seen what it takes to really blow a tire off the rim, and it's a lot of speed and a lot of G's. Just run sensible pressures and enjoy yourself at this time of year. At this time of giving, hopefully that
at Shroud Police, that's the Instagram account, I think, right?
Is it? Yeah,
right. They can have that clip. They can have that clip for free. That's beautifully put, mate. Yeah,
here we go.
Credit to you. Mort rides bikes. Here we go. Do you think my non-riding family members would like Madeira?
Great question. Should I answer?
100%. It's better than me answering.
Have you been, actually?
I know the answer. No, never been to Madeira.
Okay, so it depends. Your non-riding family members. I've done a holiday in Madeira without my bicycle with George, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. But we enjoy long walks and deep thoughts. I added on deep thoughts because it kind of rhymes. But we enjoy long walks, and there's loads of levadas. There's also the botanical gardens, which I could have spent a load of time in. Most of the places that you would go, towns and stuff, are around the coast. For me, Madeira is about getting inland, up on all those steep ridges, up on, it's about it. But why I love Madeira isn't for Funchal necessarily, although it's a very cool place. It's actually getting in the woods. So if your family members do not enjoy walking along ancient levadas, then probably they won't enjoy it. It's more of an outdoors experience. There's no sandy beaches. There's a couple, but there are sandy beaches. Sorry, I've got that wrong. But they're like artificial. It's not naturally. It's a volcanic island, so it's all like black sand. Okay. I would say if your family members enjoy the great outdoors, go for it. It couldn't be any better.
Nice. Good answer. After you, I think it's your next.
Is it my next? Yeah, okay.
I like that we do it this way now. It's way better.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Good. Okay. Ollie Simpson, could you do multiple guests on at once? Maybe a Dirt Shed Show collab. Ooh. Thanks, Ollie. Ollie Simpson _23. Big up.
Good name. I see he's using 23 at the end. All right. We could. I think what's held us back, Ollie, just to be transparent, is when we use the virtual studio, it adds all sorts of elements that you won't see as a viewer or a listener. You probably have, because some of the episodes haven't been up to par. We have delays. We have internet issues. But moving forward, one of the things that's going to happen in 23 is we're going to introduce a studio, and we're going to be able to bring guests in, and yes, we are going to be able to do multiple guests.
It's going to be great. I've got to be honest, the delay is one of the hardest things, because you can be talking to someone and you can be like, oh man, why isn't this like flowing? Why isn't this flowing like a conversation? And quite often I feel like I butt in and stamp on your feet, and it's because we're both at a delay, and it's impossible. If you ever try and do it, it is, isn't it? It's really hard. So
I probably talk different now in my real life, having done so many podcasts with guests that you're like, you talk. wait a second. It's like, are they finished? And then you go.
Good practice.
I think people probably don't realise how difficult this thing actually is to use sometimes. It isn't easy to do. And even last episode we had Andrew Neathlin on. The episode's gone down really well. And Needles is always a fantastic guest. But also there was a delay, and we both experienced it, and we both said straight away after, did you have a delay?
Yeah.
And it's like, it is tough, but hopefully we've been making it work for the last few years, 6 years for me. And
thanks for bearing with us.
It's going to be way better. Yeah, I mean, the tier 1s are going to, and tier 2s probably are going to know it's going to get really good in the future. We've got a lot going on. Absolutely. Okay. Ranting.
I've got Hayden_MTB. He's a regular. Does watching crash videos demotivate you? Oof. I think it's a great topic, actually, because I find it weird. Those like Friday fails. To me,
it's not for me.
It's not for me either, because each of those crashes to me means 4 weeks minimum off riding a bike, 4 weeks minimum struggling to do really normal things. Like I have a lot of empathy for people with injuries and who've crashed, and I guess it takes away from enjoying it just as a spectacle, like rubbernecking.
I'm with you. I like watching fails of like people getting hurt, but not in biking, because it just makes you think about it more. And I don't like thinking about it. I also, like you said, I don't like the fact that person's injured. They're going to be sat at home, probably bored, hopefully listening to the podcast. But I don't like watching the crash footage. I don't think you learn anything from it. Usually, actually, edit.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if you watch crash footage of a pro, different, because you can probably watch it and figure out what have they done wrong. But if you watch crash footage of some guy who's bought a Carrera and he's on whatever platforms posting it, going over the bars,
I think we could. You don't know the full story, I'm with you, but I think we could break down crashes. I think you could watch, and it's something that as like if everyone I've ever met who's really good at biking is good at looking and understanding what's going on, and like even if they're not like good at coaching, for instance, I'd be a terrible coach, but I could tell you what you've done wrong, why that's happened. If you buck over the bars, there's a moment on the takeoff that you can look at and you can say it was at this point your weight was in the wrong place, or you had all your weight on the front wheel, or do you know what I mean? So I think
100. With you.
I don't know if it demotivates me. It doesn't get me hyped, but it's win or learn, dude. Win or learn.
Win or learn. It probably makes you feel like a better biker, because you can watch it and go, "Yeah, that's what he did. Move on."
Yeah, true. Yeah,
he did that wrong.
Yeah,
Move
exactly.
On.
Yeah.
So,
we got a suggestion for doing a Centurion during a recording. As we've already covered, we're very sober for this episode. I'm sorry about that.
I'm not. I'm be honest. I'm at least.
You buzzed, 10%. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I suppose you've had a couple of doubles. Yeah, double Disaronnos.
Yeah.
Good on you. Yeah.
Maybe one day studio thing could be cool. Maybe for the 100th episode, that's the vibe.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll do it live regardless of. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
We'll do a Centurion for the 100th episode. All right, we get some guests in. How about the old crew? The first Centurion crew. We got John O'Jones in there.
That would be good. That would be good. Yeah.
We'll recreate it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. This is a good one. Graham MTB. Food you fantasize hardest on when you're utterly spent with 10 miles left until home. That is really good. Like the bonk.
That's a great question.
Like when you're pre-bonk, you're just right there on the edge. I've got my answer lined up.
Have you? I don't. So go for it, because I don't have one off the bat.
To me, I weirdly, and I never normally have it, but it is like a can of Coca-Cola. Could not be better when I'm really, really low sugar, because that's essentially what a bonk is, your low blood sugar. A can of
your glycogen low, I believe.
Yeah, I proper like crave it. I notice it the most on like on road rides, especially gnarly ones. Like you get in Europe, you get cafe bonbons, and they're just like an espresso shot and then just loads of sugar. And I'd have one of them and a can of Coke, and then you're back amongst it. It's a second lease of life. It'll get you home. Or otherwise I quite like greasy food, like hangover food, like sausage rolls and stuff like that when I'm really bonky. A pork and leek slice.
I think pork and leek slice is a good one. That's nice. It's a bit southern, but it's nice. Yeah. I love the blender. I love getting back from a ride if you've been bonking a little bit. few scoops of protein in there, and then anything else you can find, whack it in a blender.
Go, nice.
Fruit, veg, anything. Just get it in. Get it down your neck.
You've got unhealthy answer and healthy answer. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Jolliffe, best place you spent Christmas abroad? I've never spent Christmas abroad, have you?
Yeah, a few times.
But what's the best place?
Neither of them are good. I think I've had it in Australia, which is just weird because you're on a beach.
Yeah, it's strange, yeah.
That's weird.
I can't imagine
it's just
that.
weird.
I'm sure a lot of listeners are listening right now like, it's fine.
Yeah, probably in Australia. We got quite a big following in Australia. But didn't like it. All the branding in Australia was still like Christmassy, so it was like snow. Father Christmas has got his big hat on, whereas really he'd have board shorts on, you know, and you're on the beach doing a barbecue. That's what they seem to do there. That was in where I was in Sydney. I've had 2 really lonely Christmases in California, which were awful. Spoke about that before. Yeah. Popper's Chicken one day with a load of homeless people.
That's tough, yeah.
And one was actually quite nice, one of them. But yeah, I've not had a good one at home. I think that's the thing with Christmas. It's like, forget the gifts, forget this, forget that. Just be with your family.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Eat a selection box. Have a Disaronno and a Corona, and just be at home.
I like that.
And if it's tough for you, I really feel for you, because I've got a few friends as well, man, now that have unfortunately lost a few parents, and it's a tough one. So spend it at home, but reach out to people you think might be having a tough time at Christmas, because a lot of people out there are having a tough time at Christmas. But it's past Christmas now, so
that's true. Yeah,
do it if you've not already done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. I've never spent one. I've never had like one away, but I imagine it's pretty magical in the colder places. And our next question is from Samuel_J_S. Ever tried studded MTB tyres? They're a must-have here in the Finnish winter. I've never tried it. I can't imagine what it's like. I'd love to.
No. I tell you what, I have ridden would be an ice speedway bike.
Oh, they look brutal, those.
Yeah, I rode one of those. I only rode it briefly on a frozen lake in Sweden.
Wow.
Very weird sensation. Because it's like, it's just juddery, because obviously the things are digging into the ice, right?
And there is loads of grip, right?
Tons. Like, you literally can just lean the bike over. Not that I did, because I was really scared to like just bank it over. But if you ever watched Ice Speedway, they just have almost like a knee slider on, like a road motorcycle racer, and you just bank it over onto your knee.
Wow.
And just round the corner. It was nuts, mate. I went to loads of Ice Speedway back in the day.
Wow.
Going and checking out some of the guys out there in Sweden and Norway. Frankie Zorn was the best one. There's a guy called Frankie Zorn, be a great podcast guest actually. Because like Ice Speedway is kind of like a really, don't know what the word is for
niche?
It, but like quite niche, but also kind of like everyone's sort of like on old equipment. It's kind of like
garage industry.
Like everything's like pre-built. And then there's one guy, Frankie Zorn, Red Bull athlete. Everything was sick. All his equipment was sick. Every race wins it. Piece of piss. It was it was so interesting. But he was mates with Dietrich, who owned Red Bull. They lived in the same village and stuff. So he became a Red Bull athlete. It was ever so interesting. But yeah, never ridden studded mountain bike tyres, but maybe one day.
So on a nice speedway bike, do they have like guards so you don't get your leg trapped in? Because surely that'd be brutal.
Over the top, but dude, there's some pretty gnarly crashes and horrible incidents. Yeah, they have to wear obviously Kevlar.
Oh, do they?
Really
okay.
They wear Kevlar like a normal speedway rider would wear a Kevlar suit, but that doesn't stop the spikes from penetrating.
Whoosh.
And they have to wear like a neck guard as well. Obviously,
I was thinking arteries.
Dude, some of the crashes are brutal.
Especially if you've got throttle stuck in the ground and then your legs, or like on the ice, so you're valve bouncing with your legs stuck in the back.
It's a gnarly sport, mate. It's not. Yeah, it's gnarly. I've seen a few big crashes up there. Once, it's quite a funny story. You had to be there. The team that my mate, who I used to live with in Sweden, Jimmy, he rode for, we went up there and the team manager didn't go, so I volunteered as team manager. But like, when they do like the opening ceremony almost, and all the riders are stood in a line and they're all like getting on the bikes and they do a lap. The team manager had to go into the middle of the ice rink, and obviously English guys got no studded boots or anything, so I've gone out and just slipped on my ass in front of everyone. I'm like laying on the ice trying to fucking hell, dude, it was gnarly. But they have like water trucks that go around and they water it and then they wait for it to set.
Wow,
it's such a crazy sport, man. It's a hell of an experience to go and see.
I'd love to.
Didn't quite appreciate it at the time.
I'd actually love to go to a speedway as well. It'd be really cool. I've never been to one. Yeah, that'd be rad.
Oh wow. Oh, we'll link that up. No problem.
Yeah, done. I'm keen. Lewis 33 more says, "New year, new me." Dude, good. As long as the new you is
Athletic Greens Ride Companion / Athletic Greens / Ride Companion, you can be a new you.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, as long as the new you is an improved version, and we can help with that.
Exactly. Ali Clarkson, would either of you ride fully face painted on every ride if a face paint company paid big?
Brilliant,
dude. There's been a few of those, right? People that have done fights with face painted, you know, like brands on their body and stuff. Yeah, there's been a few of those. There's a few that stand out. Wasn't there like some casinos that were doing like body painted cage fighters? Yeah, there was, mate. There was.
I've never heard of that. There was.
Blood sports and body paint. I wonder if that's it.
Body painting sponsors. I mean, Eurobike, they always used to, I don't think it happens anymore because it's 2022, dude. But they used to have live body painting.
Oh, of course they did.
Naked ladies.
Or is it a tattoo I'm thinking of?
It depends what the face paint company. It depends on the T's and C's, Ali. Whether, you know, because I reckon I could rock a tiger. I'd do a tiger.
You do a tiger, yeah, like Phoenix Nights.
I'd do a tiger. I don't know that, but I'd do a tiger. I've not had a mirror for a while, so I've noticed when I do the podcast, I've noticed, whoa, you're looking quite bad. I need to trim things up, so a face paint sponsor might not be bad.
What brand would be the worst to be face paint sponsored with? Probably Pornhub would be pretty bad. I'd probably run that.
Marmite wouldn't be good for your career, would it?
Tampax wouldn't either. Fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's a red line.
I can't think of a good one, yeah. Great question, though. I mean, why don't more do it? They should have...
It's open branding.
Yeah, why not? Why don't Red Bull just extend the headwear to...
cheap. So get the bull here.
Just on the podium. You just get the face Red Bulled up.
Yeah, put a mask on.
Or you could just stand in a giant can costume. Podium costumes should be a thing as well. Podium costumes and face paint. So we all just stand there. It'd be interesting. It'd be like a podium of different items. Let's say one person.
The goggle company's kind of got on it, right?
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
You go on the podium and it's like fresh goggle, gold maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, with the stickers on the lens. It's cool, that, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you could do that on your head.
I quite like the idea of just like a costume. Just like what's that Wiener Schnitzel company? You just dressed up as a hot dog on the top step.
Yeah, you're
just
right.
won a World Cup, cool. climbing your way into a giant hot dog suit.
Giant hot dog.
Great question, Ali.
Funny.
Nice one, dude.
Yeah,
happy Christmas
question,
to you.
Mate. Appreciate you.
We should have said happy Christmas to everyone as well, actually. Yeah, every single person individually.
We should. Okay, let's do a couple more.
Yeah, I've got one.
Let's do a couple
it's a negative one, but I'm happy to do it. Bob T. Knob. Worst bit of technology in mountain biking of the last 20 years. For me, it's easily got to be the ones that map exactly where all the secret trails are. That is the worst inclusion into our sport ever. It means that people don't... Like, bike parks are great. You can learn what's going on in a bike park, but the trail mapping bits of software are the worst things. I know they're convenient, but convenient isn't good. When you go to a new spot, you should have to ride with someone who knows, and everything would be managed better. You'd have less troubles with walkers, less land issues. If everything was just a bit smarter, you'd have more people building, but it would be all quieter, it'd all be more sustainable. That is easily, for me, the worst thing in mountain biking. We've lost a part of the entire culture, in my opinion, because of those stupid fucking things that map where everything goes, how long you've been going, people's obsession with numbers, fitness, this and that. It's the worst thing ever. I'm going to directly Strava and Trail Forks and Komoot. The worst three things in the last 20 years for me. There we go. Happy fucking happy Christmas.
I want to end on that. I want to end.
No, you can't. Let's carry on. Sorry about that. It just, I do think it's true. Beautiful. Though. I do think it's true, and I think even if you use it, you know, I don't hold it against you for using it, but it shouldn't have existed in the first place. I don't know, you know.
Okay, I don't think I can add to that because I'm going to fully agree with you. And also, what could I bring to the table after that?
It was pretty passionate, wasn't
just
it?
Just a slight edit for me is like it's similar but not. It's the like watches that are telling you like all of your shit. Like I think there's aspects that you do need to know, especially
Bum
when
humidity,
it comes to recovery.
for instance. Like swan pass.
All that sort of swan pass. You know, you're running at a 12% humidity down there. All that sort of stuff. You got sensors plugged all over you. It's the watches and the health apps and stuff like that. I think you can't go wrong with just listening to your body. Your body will tell you you've gone too hard, you need rest.
It's a good skill to have, yeah.
It's a great skill to have. You should be in tune with your body. You shouldn't... Imagine people like, oh, I want to go get a workout in, I want to go do a ride. Oh, but my watch says I need to recover. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get out, do the bike, do the gym, do the run, and just get rid of the watch thing. The watch is for telling time. It's not for telling you what you should and shouldn't do.
Georgie's got a watch.
It could be the best ride you've ever had.
Georgie's got a watch that tells her whether she's slept well or not. This was a negative one, but it's good to just stick it in there because everyone needs a little bit of Georgie's got one of those watches that tells you if you've slept well. But I question whether if you woke up every morning and some scientist stood by your bed and said you slept really badly, I'm willing to say that you would have a worse day. So it's a bad way to start anyway. If you feel a bit tired, sure, you feel a bit tired, but you don't need to have it in like scientific terms that you slept badly. Like I think it would make it worse. So
it overcomplicates it. Listen to your body. You know if you sit on the sofa and you're tired. You know, like. Anyway,
that was really sorry about that, but I did enjoy it. It's good to have a bit of a rant. Is it quite Christmassy to have a rant? It probably is. You're with different family members you don't see often. Maybe you got different Christmas arguments. Do you have any Christmas arguments? I thought that's a thing, isn't it? I've never had any, but
we don't.
No, we don't really do it. No.
Okay, I can see how it happened.
Yeah. Hugo Jervis says, "Have you guys ever ruined Christmas Day by getting a little too rowdy on Christmas Eve? It used to be a little. That used to be an every year move for me. Yeah, walk home for miles, completely wasted. Wake up, feel awful. Yeah, throw up drunk. Yeah, I used to. Not anymore.
No, I've never done it. I don't think. I remember. No, I've never done it. I think the only time I wouldn't say I even ruined Christmas. I just don't remember it. I got a bottle of Bailey's for Christmas and then just sat and drank it over Christmas dinner and just was like fucking wasted drunk and went to sleep.
Yeah,
but
it's not that bad.
It's not like I wouldn't say I've ever wasted it. I don't know. I don't know how you could ruin it.
You didn't start after your previous chat about you being drunk. You didn't start sort of trying it on with family members. Bailey's breath, Davy grinding on his grandma. No, let's move on. Move on
quick. That could go in all sorts of directions.
Not the real Rob Warner. Have either of you ever been arrested? And if not, the worst crime you've committed? Rob, come on. Talk about throwing us under the bus here. I've not been arrested, no. Have I been arrested?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been arrested. And I'm pretty crime-free, to be honest. But I would say that I've got like this sort of like... I try and have like this objective view. I try and think morally about crimes and about laws and about traffic lights, for instance. To me, if it's dark, you can see when cars are coming, you can see no one's around, it's not dangerous. Let's say roadworks. A traffic light very quickly becomes a red bulb that I'm not listening to. A white line on the floor and a red bulb. And I just think, I'm not doing anything wrong here. Do you know what I mean? There's a different. There's like malicious crimes, and then there's like crimes that are like, come on. Like,
yes, it's just ridiculous. It's just more of a diversion round something. Yeah. I've
been fined for riding my bike on the pavement.
Have you?
Yeah.
There was a time when that was like a real thing, even around here. It was the helmet police and riding around on the pavement. You'd be out for a street ride, and there's like cops around.
Yeah.
This is the actual sport.
Yeah.
This is what it is. You can't, yeah. I'm going to avoid it.
Yeah, let's avoid it. Let's do the next one. Next one.
Okay.
Mike HB, 1985. Should we do his?
Yeah, sure. I can't read it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Why don't we talk about crashing enough? It's part of our learning our sport and...
Does it carry on, or is that just ...
I know, that's it. It just
cool.
That's it. Yeah.
I like it. He's dropped a topic in there, and then he's got out of there.
I think we do talk about crashing enough. I think if you're a professional, rider especially, it's probably something you don't want to talk about too much because you want to move on and not talk about the crash. I think people like Tani have done a great job of talking about the impact of crashing and the negative effects of head trauma and stuff like that. I think we've covered it a lot. You know, I had a crash last year. It was silly, and we spoke about it loads. Raised loads of awareness for telling people where you're going and trying to not crash. But no, what I'm trying to say, trying to just talk about the actual impact of it and what it actually does. And
impact, not gag. Yeah, I'm with you. Do you know what I think that is one of the biggest keys in me getting better at biking? Actually, in fact, if I could put one thing that was like a switch, right? How about this for a clip? If I could put one thing that was like a switch that made me better at riding so quickly, so easily, it just changed my whole perspective. It was a young version of me knowing that I'm not stuck on that bike, knowing when to let go. I learned to bail. Honestly, that is the biggest thing for me. Knowing that you're not, because even in a crash, when you see people go down super hard, obviously there's exceptions to this. The crashes happen so quick you don't even know what's happening. But you know when someone goes down with their ship, that is a crash that you can avoid. And you get rid of that bike, forget it. It doesn't matter that it's well expensive. The moment that you realise you can just get rid of that bike, run away, dodge the tree, do whatever. There's a self-preservation in that is truly so valuable when it comes to being better at riding. So dirt jumping taught me that.
What would you say that comes with? Yeah, dirt jumping, but that comes with riding more, making more mistakes.
And not worrying about your bike. Getting out of there, dude. And then you can push yourself and you can crash safely. It's like a way of learning how to make crashing safe. Because you probably notice that you see a lot of pro riders crash and get away with it. And it's no mistake, it's because they're good at crashing. The best crasher I've ever seen in my entire life is Andrea Laconda. Have you ever seen the guy crash? He's like a cat. He lands on his feet, whatever it is, whether it's on a downhill track, whether it's on a massive jump, in a double flip even. He's completely aware, he's getting away from that thing. Get the bike out of the way, get feet down, live to tell another...
That's brilliant.
Live for another day. So
live to ride another day.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's great. That's a great bit of advice, dude. Learn to crash better. That's fantastic.
There you go.
I bloody appreciate that. And spread the message. I think that's the thing. Talking about it, we just done it now. We don't talk about crashing enough. There you go. I think people will probably hide behind it and want to be maybe a little bit embarrassed about crashing, but it is part of it. It literally is part of it. You're going to crash, you're going to talk about it.
Absolutely. I watched some bowl jam a while back, a concrete bowl skateboard jam. Skateboarding's so good for it. You can see how good they are in a big concrete park. You see how good they are at crashing. They've just made it easy. They've made it so it's a thing that everyone does.
Slide out of things.
There's no ego attached to it or any weirdness. No one's embarrassed after a crash. You shouldn't be. If you're crashing, you're trying. No one's laughing at someone who tries.
I think though with biking, it's more of a thing when you crash. You know, there's fucking dirt going everywhere. There's bikes tomahawking. You've probably done a little bit of a scorpion, so you are a bit embarrassed. But with skating, oftentimes it is just a slide out or a twisted ankle or something. You know.
And dude, there's no secret, but like I still have crashes that I do badly in. But what I think is I make the best of a bad situation. That's what crashing is. It's like you're given all these cards, your front wheel's going towards a tree, it's going to smash the tree. You just need to be good at dealing with the stuff that's gone wrong and also being able to look back at it and what we were talking about earlier, looking at footage or analysing what went wrong. What did I do wrong? I broke in that corner and it stood me up and then I shoulder barged the tree. So don't break in the corner next time. Try braking before it. Slow up, carry speed. You know, all of that stuff's really, really useful to your riding. I think if you can get good at crashing, you can get good at riding quick.
Love it. That's great. Last one?
Let's do last one, and then we're off for New Year's celebrations, aren't we?
Yes, we are. At Tim Sadler, if you could have one car from the movies as bike transport, what would it be?
Ooh. From the movies, I like it.
I'm not a movie guy. But
you're going to be able... I'll throw one out there first of all. Just...
Please,
I can do a number. I'm a movie guy and I'm a car guy. Yeah. Shall I do one for you?
I think I can come up with one. All right. Yeah, go for it.
Well, the DeLorean would be fantastic. A bike on the top of a DeLorean. The DeLorean is the Back to Future car for you, Davey.
Yeah.
If I could have a bike on the top of a DeLorean, that'd be amazing. They're not even that expensive, actually. It could be something.
And does that mean you could travel into the future or into the past?
You could travel into the future, where we'd have where we'd have all kinds of different BB standards. Exciting and and internal routing. But yeah, I think the DeLorean would be a good one.
Absolutely destroy a British downhill from 1993.
On
a Focus jam.
Absolutely, yeah. Go on, what's yours?
Imagine the jam, dude. Okay, I'm gonna go I don't know if it's I don't know if it's racist, but I think the General Lee would be fucking sick as bike transport. But I'd get rid of the flag off the top.
Okay, so you do a 2022 version of General Lee.
The General Lee.
It's not.
I'd get rid of the flag off the top. It'd just be a big Focus logo. I'd have the bike on the back.
That was a DK bike, wasn't it? The General Lee. DK BMX. They did a General Lee, I think.
Wasn't it?
And they did the colourway and everything. Right. Yeah, and it probably had the Confederate flag on it, didn't it, as well? Yeah, that's a solid one. I was thinking
the DKKK.
Do you know what I was going to do? Was the I was going to do the that was good. The Jeepers Creepers. Do you remember the Jeepers Creepers wagon?
No. I
could see you in that as Matt Black.
What about the A-Team car?
Oh, the A-Team truck would be good. Very good.
That'd be fire.
Oh, now I'm getting into Thunderbirds. Mate.
Oh, mate. Thunderbird 2? Rocking up to the trails.
I just had the most... Do you ever get where you have a dream and it was
with
so
Parker
vivid?
Driving?
Penelope.
Sat in the back with Penelope.
Right, I had a dream about... This is the most vivid dream and it was so horrible, right? And I know where it came from as well, this dream. But I'd learnt to helicopter... To pilot a helicopter. That's not really... Learning to helicopter's easy, isn't it? You just fucking whip it out and spin it around. No, I'd learnt to pilot a helicopter, and I had flown... Christian Fairclough had rented me his mate's helicopter. This is insanely vivid. This is like it really happened.
This is such a southern dream.
Mate, how weird is it? So Stolf had rented me a helicopter, and I'd flown to America. I'd gone out for dinner. This is on my own. I'd flown there. And then I'd got back to the helicopter and I'd forgotten how to fly it. So it was on the runway. Wow. And then I was like, oh no. Now Christian's getting the bill for the helicopter for an extra day. I was meant to just take it for a day and now it was his present to me. And now it's costing more and more. And I kept getting in there. And I was looking at the controls and I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I couldn't remember what was what. It must be some reflection on life being out of control for me.
Yeah.
And not knowing what I'm doing anymore. Maybe.
Spinning plates.
So deep. Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. A brilliant end to the episode.
For sure. A decent end to the episode. Exactly.
Do you know what? I actually have to mention this. Before we go, I've had so many people asking me to bring this up. We need to finish this year slating another obscure sport.
Oh, all right.
And this is you must have been sent it as well. Combat juggling, ladies and gentlemen. The sport that you most definitely never knew you needed to get involved with, and definitely, arguably, don't need to get involved with. Combat juggling is a thing. Have you seen it, dude?
I saw the video that probably the same guy, Matt Simo, sent. Hopefully we can bring up some footage. If not, just search combat juggling. But this is the question I have. When did who started this? Like, what the fuck were you doing? But also, when did the thing become more than the thing that it actually hobby actually is? Like, you know, when did someone juggle and then go, I know, we could probably fight with this? Like, when did that actually happen? So what is the history of combat juggling?
There's a whole league, by the way.
Of course there is.
It's known as Gladiator. It's a sport and martial art. Yeah, I wonder who named it that, guys. It's one of you bloody free party ravers. It is a sport and martial art played by 2 or more players. I mean, 2 players combat juggling is one of the most miserable things I've ever heard. Just fucking in a park with no shoes on, punching each other with.
And it's so you juggle the things, and then when you got one in your hand, you hit someone else's out of the way. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. First of all, I hate carrying too many things, and I always end up carrying too many things. If someone was trying to punch me in the face... I
combat juggle every time I go shopping. I'm coming out of the shop and I'm just like combat juggling out of there.
So imagine,
probably quite good
imagine doing that with someone trying to punch you in the face. Oh, and everyone plays against everyone, and the object of the game is to maintain your own juggling pattern while attempting to make the opponent drop one or more clubs. Oh. Have you seen videos of it? Yeah.
Briefly, I did see. I think again. Let me have a quick look, man. I think Matt Simmer, who submitted this listener question, sent a few things over about combat juggling. So, yeah, I think I've seen a few bits. Hang on, I'm gonna look on Instagram actually. Combat juggling.
Even in Wikipedia, they couldn't bring themselves to say it's like increasingly popular or massive. They say it's moderately popular in Europe and the United States. Yeah.
Oh my god, combat juggling. Moves in the fight night. Okay, combat.
Thanks for the obscure sports submissions, by the way. I do appreciate them because I didn't know that existed, and other than the companionship sending it to me, which is really that's cool.
3 people knew it existed.
Unbelievable.
Hey, I tell you what though, you've got to have some coordination, and they've got team like jerseys and sponsors as well, like football. They've got like a sponsor across the front.
I wonder if there's money in it. I mean, it's not the right. So where I get stuck, it's not that you're not skillful when you're doing it. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Juggling Combat Highlights has got 72 followers.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty fair representation.
It's not impressive,
of the sport.
But then like loads of stuff's impressive, isn't it? Doesn't mean it's.
Dude, I found one.
I don't know.
I found a guy. Luke, right? Can we get this guy on the pod? I don't know. Do we want him on the pod?
I don't know, but it's like, doesn't seem smart. The guy that can punch you in the face whilst juggling is like it's quite a.
Okay, so this guy is called Luke Burrage, and his bio on Instagram, mostly juggling, but also music, podcasting, and mountain biking. That's his bio. This is the guy. This is the guy who could explain this to us. And he's got. I thought it was.
Do you know what? This is the problem with these rants, and it shows how chicken shit I am.
Yeah.
As soon as it becomes a person, I like it that he enjoys his juggling, and I like it that he's got a sport and he's probably an interesting person.
He's extremely good at it. Luke Burrage, he's from Germany, so if we can get in touch with Luke Burrage,
we're really dropping him under the bus here. I don't know if we should bleep out his name. Look, he's amazing at juggling as well. Well, I take back everything I've said. Yeah. In the name of Christmas spirit and New Year, New Me, combat juggling is so cool.
And then I was just looking at who combat juggling follow. It only follows 5 people. The other one is a guy called Jasper Moens, who broke a world record for juggling 7 balls while unicycling. That's insane. Like, what are you doing? Like,
do you know what? It's not good to punch down, and it's not a nice colour on us. I want to say combat juggling is really best of luck to it as a sport. I hope it goes mainstream, and what I mainly hope is that everyone does it, enjoys it, and has a lovely Christmas and New Year's. And on that note, I'd like to end the podcast. Thanks for being with us all during 2022. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah,
thanks for every comment, like,
Happy New Year,
share, everything you've done for us, every submission. TRC 77.
Yeah, absolutely. All makes the world
absolutely.
We appreciate you. Merch drop Thursday, 29th, 7 p.m. Win yourself a Troiley D4 helmet, and also just get yourself a pretty dope sweater or long sleeve tee that people are gonna really love.
You literally ran out of energy then. Like
Corona kicked in.
he's ready for an open fire and a sofa.
Yeah, I'm done, dude. It's 11:30 on a Friday, and I'm done.
What can you do? Where can you go from here?
That's it. I'm going biking. Peace and love. Podcast
Merry Christmas.
We appreciate
and a happy
you. Thank you so much.
New Year.